Welcome to episode 5 of Conversations with Kenny. Today's guest, the author of Rap Goals, Darrell Howard. What's up?
What's going on, man? How you feeling today?
I'm good. Tell the people about you. Tell the people your backstory.
Well, my backstory is I came from Brooklyn down in Baltimore when I was like 16, 17. Then after that, graduated high school, went to apprenticeship school for 4 years, worked out in the electrical field for another maybe 7 years.
How you get into the electrical field? Because that's a tough field to get into.
Nah, it's really easy. Honestly, it's only really 3 wires, bro.
Really?
You don't have to be that smart to be an
that's
electrician.
crazy. I can't even put the shelf together, man.
The people that I worked with, you can outwork them really, really fast if you just sit and look at it.
That's crazy.
So it's not as hard as you think. So I got into that because I went to a trade school when I was in New York. So I was like, oh man, this is kind of cool. Like, you can go to school, you can learn a trade and you don't have to go to school. See, that was my whole thing. I ain't really like school too much. So I was just
I'd agree with you on that one. I hated college.
Yeah, I wasn't really one. I seen all people before me go, and I'm like, man, I'm just like them. So I'm seeing how they dropping out and failing out. I'm like, I'm probably gonna be the same way. So I don't need to go that route. So I need to learn from their lessons. And what else can I do? And I always like working with my hands. So I said, you know what? Let me do this electrical thing.
That's dope. That's super dope.
Yep. So then after that, I just did that. And then a couple years later, went to the construction management field. Didn't really like that either. And then I just jumped into this book, kind of.
So what gave you the inspiration to write your first book?
What gave me the inspiration to write my first book? The death of another black man by the police.
It happens all too often in the black community.
Yeah, it happened about 4 years ago. It was 4 years ago. I don't know who exactly it was because it happens so much. So it's like, all right, I didn't even know who it was, but I got tired of just walking around talking to you, talking to somebody else about how we can solve these situations or just frustrations. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get everybody in my phone and I'm gonna send them a text message. And I sent everybody a text message. And they all got mad at me because I sent them a text message and they was like, yo, bro, they got apps that you could really use and utilize where it's like a group text. I'm like, all right, cool, my bad. Going over here.
So how long did it take you to complete your book?
1.5 years.
Oh, did you go through, what is the word I'm looking for? Writer's block?
Yeah, I went through all that. I went through writer's block. I went through, different trials and tribulations throughout the whole process of writing a book. You got different things that go on in life. You're just like, man, I'm working a full-time job as I'm writing this book.
I'm about to say, that's gotta be hard, working a full-time job and writing a book. Woo.
So I'm working a full-time job, and then I also have my 2 children. So I'm like, all right, so I have them too. So I'm like, all right, I'm juggling that. I'm juggling 2 other people's lives plus my life and writing a book to all my friends because I told them that I was going to write this book to them. I was going to not even write this book because it didn't start out as a book. I just told them I was going to write something positive to them every day for 365.
Do you think the fact that you put it out there in the atmosphere that this is something that you wanted to do, it gave you the added courage to make sure you got it done?
Yeah, that, and then also just from keeping my word. I learned that whenever I keep my word, things go right. If I don't keep my word, shit don't really go.
Listen, I would agree with you. I was saying yesterday that for me, as long as I'm patient, things always tend to work out the way they're supposed to.
Exactly. So when I find that when I keep my word, things go right. When I don't.
So and in Rap Goals, what is the first chapter about?
All right. So it's not a chapter book per se.
Okay.
So RAP is an acronym that I created, right? So RAP stands for responsibility, accountability, progression. These are my 3 keys to life.
Powerful.
So no matter what you're going through, you can always use rap. So in any situation, you can hold yourself responsible, you can hold yourself accountable, and you can progress from there. So every day I'm going through it daily. So we're going through a 365. It's kind of like almost a devotional. I didn't even know it was a devotional till somebody put it out there to me one day. Like, yo, you wrote a hip hop devotional?
That's fire.
It's pretty much almost like a devotional. So basically what I do is I break down a rap quote for a quote a day. Then I give an assignment for that day. And then at the end of the assignment, you're supposed to write in your journal. So I got lines inside the book for you to write in your journal, because this really what this was my journal. So to my friends, for real. So it's like, you know, once you start writing in your journal, things start happening. Look, book came about. You know what I'm saying? Just from writing a journal, right? So it's like, you know, I want everybody else to have that same feeling. So once you do that, and these assignments are going to hold you responsible, going to hold you accountable, and you're going to progress because you're sitting there writing these things down, and you're like, oh man, am I doing what I said I was going to do, or am I not? You know, and then only you can judge you.
That's very true. So when did you fall in love with rap?
I grew up. That's what I grew up. That's what I grew up in. I grew up in.
So you know,
87. I was in the middle. I grew up in the middle of the birth of
the greatest debate of all time is your top 5. You got to give the people your top 5. Who is in your top 5?
My top 5 rotates all the time, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna put Nip, Kiss, Big, Hove, Nas.
Oh, that's powerful. That's a good top 5 right there. Listen, that's a very good top 5.
You know, I got a couple, I got a bunch more, but you know, I just giving 5 just random, just know it's a bunch of them. Like I got all these artists up there. Those are like really all my favorite.
Out of all 365 quotes that you have in the book, which one touched you the most?
One of the ones that touched me the most, they all pretty much hit differently. I tell everybody, whenever you open up the book, whatever day you open up on, that's the day you're supposed to read. And 9 times out of 10, they open it up and they read it. They like, damn, I needed to hear that day. I'm like,
sounds like you're taking them in the rap church.
Yeah,
that's what it sound like.
Nah, that wasn't my intentions. But my favorite day would probably be day 85. That's the shirt that I have on today. That's this Nipsey Hussle quote. It says, "Get on your feet until you bruise your feet, or run the streets until the Reverend reads eulogy." So, meaning, I broke that down and I talked about running and reading. And what I learned throughout this process of writing this book was, I started running at first. So I was running and I'm like, okay. So when I figured out when I was running, if I looked over to my left and right, my time would be slower. If I looked down, I would be dwelling on my past. I would be thinking about all the issues that happened that day, that week. Maybe I should have said something that I shouldn't have said, or all these things start happening. And if I start looking up, then I'm just in the clouds and I'm in the future, and I'm just and my time's still slow because I'm just here. So I learned that when I focused and locked in and just looked at where I was going and paid attention to my lane, that I could get things accomplished, and my time was actually faster. And I started defeating that little voice in your head when you're running, because there's always something in your mind that's always saying, oh, I got a cramp, my leg.
100% right.
Like, it's always a little voice in you that's telling you to stop while you're running. And then once you learn how to defeat that voice, you can defeat pretty much anything. And then reading is pretty much self-explanatory, because it's nothing new under the sun. Anything you want to do, somebody did it.
That's a fact.
And it's in a book somewhere. So
very true.
You can find it by reading. So those are the two things that, you know, you got to constantly be, you know, running the streets, man, until you bruise your feet. You got to just be on that grind, man. Always constantly learning and running and growing.
What was the first thing that came to your mind when you found out Nipsey Hussle had passed away?
I shed tears. I shed tears, and I was hurt because my book actually came out. The final copy came out the next day. Like, I got the final copy the next day, and I got his quote on the back of my book. That's out crazy. Of all the quotes that I got in my book, I figured I put this Nip quote on there because it touched me the most at the time. And I was like, man, this is pretty much what the book is about. And the quote on the book says, "It ain't a force in this world like a focused drive. You got to focus on yourself like an only child. When you focus on yourself, you make your dream realer. When you make your dream realer, you make your team better." So, you know,
he was a poet with the words. He was definitely a poet with the words.
Exactly. So it was kind of eerie because it had came out. And I started doing it in January of last year, and I got it, and I picked the wrong size because I was doing it myself because I was self-publishing. So I picked the wrong size. I picked the textbook. So my book was like this. So I'm like, damn, this is a textbook. I can't really be out the back of my trunk with a textbook. So I had to I had to change that. So I changed that up. I had to change the font, and I was like, oh yeah, let me change the font. Let me make this font 8. Never make the font 8 if you self-publishing. nobody will be able to see it.
That's a
So
jewel right there, guys. Listen, if you self-publishing, do not make the font 8.
you got to go 10 to 12. Go 10 to 12. Don't even go below that.
Oh man,
10 to 12. I would say shoot for 11.
that's crazy.
You know, but yeah, I had to learn that because then after that, again, I did it with the size 8 font, and I got that again in like February something. And I'm like, because I was waiting for this book to come out because it took me another year and a half to get the book out because I was editing myself. I was sitting there doing everything. I did all this stuff myself. So I was like, man, I'm just, finding out the cover, like getting cover art and doing all that stuff.
It's a dope. Yeah. It's a great cover art. Great cover art.
$100 at Fiverr.
Oh man, listen.
I'm saying, like, listen, use your resources.
That's a fact. You gotta use your resources. Got to learn to maximize the things that you have because you can't expect more if you can't maximize what you already have.
That's a fact.
So, what was one of the most challenging? What was one of the most challenging things you went through the duration of creating this book?
To keep going. Because a lot of times, we start something, but then, as you start going, as life start happening, like, man, I'm not about to do this. Like, I don't feel like doing this today. Like you're saying, you be going to the gym, right? I know every day you go to the gym. I know for me, when I was going to the gym, I never wanted to go to the gym every day. Like, every day, I never wanted to go to the gym. They'd be like, yo, why you be going? Like, you be seeming so pumped up. I'm like, if you see me at 4:30 and the conversations that I was having with myself to get me here at 5, then you would know, like, yeah, I hate waking up and doing this, but I still get up and go do it.
Absolutely.
And, that was the challenging part, just having days where you like, I don't really want to do this, or I don't feel like writing because something happened. You're like, man, or you just want to go have fun. But
sacrifice.
You got to sacrifice.
You got to make those sacrifices.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick a day. Can you tell me what goal is on that particular day without even looking?
No. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I wouldn't even lie to you like that.
At least he's honest.
I wouldn't even lie to you like that,
okay.
Boy.
What was the least?
You could pick a day. You could open it up, and you could talk about a day, and I could tell you exactly what is going on.
Which goal did you write that you felt like did not inspired you, but was able to inspire change around you?
I wouldn't say it was a goal per se. I would say it was consistency. Okay. Everyone seen my consistency, and they're like, "Yo, that's crazy." So now, that's just pretty much what you're known for. So for that consistency. So that's the foundation that you set. So now everybody like, yo, how do you do it? They see that there's no tricks that I did because they know I do videos every day. So you can see my videos, the progression. Like, it's no tricks that I'm doing. I'm just consistent.
Okay, consistency is key, guys.
You get better as consistent the more consistent you are.
With the current landscape of the music industry, what is the most surprising thing about music today for you?
The most surprising thing? Nothing really surprises me too much anymore when it comes to music. I mean, it's pretty much the same game, but just different. Like I said, nothing new under the sun. It's just innovated differently now.
Okay.
Like, they've been doing the same thing before, but it's just now you might got newer toys and trinkets that you can do it with. You can do it with the internet now. It's like a few interventions, but it's pretty much the same of what's going on.
Dope. So I see that Nipsey is one of your favorite artists. How old were you when you discovered his music? Or how about when did you discover his music?
When Crenshaw was that? That was like 2013. I don't know what that.
And what about that particular project drew you to him? Because you said New York City, so he's a West Coast rapper.
Yeah,
so.
I'm from Brooklyn, not New York.
From Brooklyn, not New York, guys.
Right.
So West Coast and East Coast the music is a different vibe. So what about his music attracted you to it?
Oh, nah, I'm not really a West Coast, East Coast. I listen to lyrics. Like I'm saying, I break lyrics down, bro.
Okay.
It don't matter where you from. If you saying something that stick and that I can relate to and that I can learn from, one of my favorite artists now. Like, for real.
Okay. So besides the quote that you have on the back of the book and the one you have on the shirt, what is another one of his lyrics that really touched your life?
I would say I'm integrated vertically. I should revolution. So integrated vertically means you cut the middleman out all the way, and that's exactly what I did with this book. I started making these books myself because I didn't want to pay nobody to make them. So I was in the house actually with 2 printers, the computer up, printing the books out. My kids is looking at me. I'm sitting there. They helping me shuffle up the books. We going like this, going through them, all the pages, putting them together, you know, get them cut at Office Depot every day. I was at Office Depot every day for 6 months. They knew me every day. Like they knew me. I didn't have to wait in line. I just would go up there. I could still go up there and they'll be like, oh, hey, how you doing, Darrell?
Yeah, listen, guys, he's giving you guys the game. He's telling you what he did to self-publish. Do you think self-publishing is a better way to go than going with the traditional publisher?
I never went with the traditional publisher. I didn't even know the book making process, bro. Like I said, I hated school. This is an oxymoron because I hated school and here I am with a book.
That's
like,
dope. That's dope.
That's, you know what I'm saying?
It's not that many authors out there. Young black authors.
Yeah. No, actually, it is a lot of us. And
Really?
that's what I want to shine us on because it's a lot of us, but we don't really, you know, we come together, but it's not a lot of places, I would say, for us to kind of sell our books. Or, you know, it's hard to tell people to just read. Like, you don't even got to read my book, but like, I know it's an author out here, a book that y'all can read, that y'all can support today. It's 1,000 of them.
You know, they say, I think the average American probably reads, what, like 4 books a year or something like that? Something crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even think I don't even think 4 books a year.
That's ridiculous.
I would say less than that. Wow. I would go 2.
But it's crazy because everything that you need in life
that.
or you can find is in a book. Like, that's the secret. Pick up a book.
Pick
you
up
have
a book
libraries and
and
they're
just
free.
Exactly. You got YouTube.
YouTube is the greatest school on earth.
Like,
not gonna lie.
Yo, you know how many audiobooks I listen to on YouTube? So I would sit at work and I would just listen to audiobooks. Like, I would just be sitting there for a whole 8 hours. I would probably listen to 2 books a week.
That's crazy.
It depends because sometimes you gotta pause them, you gotta rewind them back. But like, it depends on the book. But you could go through like 2 books a week.
What's your favorite book? What's your favorite book that you've read, and what's the last book that you've read?
My favorite one, I got a couple favorite books. So I would say my favorite book would be How to Hustle and Win. That was the book that changed my life to make me. It's by Supreme Understanding. Look that up. It's a really good book. But that was the book that changed my life. That pretty much got me to, you know, start thinking more critical when it come to things, and you know, just assessing all the situations around me pretty much. And that was at 25. I'm 33. So
that must have been a really good book.
Yeah, after that I done picked up, I don't even know how many books I read after that. Like, I can't even tell you how many books because I done flew through mad books. And the last book that I read would have to be The Tao of Inner Peace. I didn't finish reading it. I'm still reading it because that's like you just go through that one. That's like
sounds like a very dope
Tao of Inner Peace. Yeah, man, you gotta get a line, man. That kind of help you out a lot, man.
Do you prefer audiobooks or do you prefer flipping through the pages?
Depends on the book.
Okay,
depends on the book. I like audiobooks. If, like I said, when I'm at work, because I can't flip through the pages while I'm at work because I gotta actually do something.
Yeah.
So audiobooks are great for work, but when I'm at home, I can read, and then now I can highlight, and then I got sticky notes. So this is what you do. You put your sticky notes in there, and you just, after every chapter, you just write like 3 things.
What's crazy is I love the highlight. I don't do the sticky notes, and I don't like audiobooks.
Nah, listen. All right, so this is what you do. What you do is whatever book that you really like, read it again, right? And go through it with sticky notes. And then
I go through it to highlight it the second time. Read it one time, then highlight it the second time.
Yeah, but when you highlight and just write a sticky note, just not for everything, but just a summary. Like, you might get to the end of the chapter. And now when you go back to it another time, you're gonna look and then you're gonna see where you were at, and you're gonna be like, I interpreted it totally different now. And that's the great thing about books, because you can read them over and over again, and your interpretation will be different every time.
You are 100% right. I read a book 4 times and was like, damn, I'm just figuring this is what the book
that's
is really
what I'm saying.
about.
So, but when you see your notes, it'll help show you where you was at, and it'll help you show your progression.
That's dope.
So that'll help you with that shift in your mind, because a lot of times we get stuck in the, man, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or I'm not where I'm supposed to be at. But if you see where your mind was at when you was reading this one book, and then you read it again, and you're like, man, I done caught on to some more things, so
Dope.
I done grew some more.
So what is it about that book, particularly the one that changed your life? What about stood out that made you change the most?
How to hustle, and like I said, it just got me thinking more critical. Like, so anything I take in, I look at how it can affect my life. So from TV shows to what I'm looking at on the internet to who I'm actually talking to. I look at how it can affect my life, or how I'm responsible for the things in my life.
So do you believe your environment plays a major role in your success or failure in life?
I believe yeah and no.
Okay, so what you gotta elaborate on that. What's the yes and the no?
Nah, because like you can be, we both from Brooklyn, right? So the situations that you come from in Brooklyn, like you could have went under.
Very
just
true.
for being around, but you're not that type of person. You know what I'm saying? But just being in that type of environment, things can happen. You know what I'm saying? But so that's why I was like a yeah and no, because yeah, I could still be doing my thing, but it could still be some craziness that happened because I'm in that environment and I'm not even near it, and it can get to me and overspill on me. But that still doesn't negate the fact that you have to have that mindset to say, yo, I'm not gonna be here.
Very true. Very true. I do believe that you have to make a decision, and when you make the decision, you have to stand on it to help you go wherever you're trying to go in life. Most people don't ever want to make a decision, so they end up stuck.
Exactly.
Just like it's crazy because it's amazing that you wrote a book and you use musical lyrics to turn around and inspire the next person in their day-to-day life. That's super dope. Super dope.
Because that's what I've learned. That's how I learned. So like in school, I learned writing, reading, math, stuff like that. But I learned about life listening to rap. Like rap taught me about life. Like I can, we could just talk in quotes. Like just go any Hove quote, like you said, a Nip quote.
Give us a Hove quote. Yeah, give us a Hove quote.
Give us a Hove quote. To all my brothers, it ain't too late to come together, because too much black and too much love equals too much forever. And I mean, that's kind of almost self-explanatory, especially for what's going on right now.
We are definitely in challenging times right now. Definitely are in challenging times.
You know what I'm saying? And I could put that in the while we talking and just have that in there, So it's just different.
that quote must have definitely made a major impact on your life. Definitely.
Yeah, because if we come together, we're unstoppable.
Out of the artists that you selected to be in your book, which one were you the most surprised ended up in the book?
Who was I surprised that ended up in the book? I don't know, because I honestly listen to maybe the Stickman, because I don't really listen to Stickman like that, and I had to put like a verse from Stickman in there. But I mean, everybody else on there I pretty much listen to, so it's like, I mean, yeah, it depends on like the day, like who I'm listening to.
So what do you currently listen to as far as music goes?
What am I currently listening to? I was listening to that new Dave East, that Karma 3.
How was it? I haven't listened to it yet.
It's good. First listen was good. I gotta listen to it again, but first listen was good. I liked it.
That's dope. That's super dope.
Dave getting better.
I'm gonna say, what do you see for him and his trajectory of his career?
Nah, I think Dave getting better. As far as like, I guess making CDs wise, like quality CDs, I guess they would say, like for the masses, like they're getting more top notch, like even super with dope. Every album. So as you could just see the progression, like he's just coming along. I like it.
So let's get back to the book. So when you were writing the book, the moment that you felt like this process is taking too long, what was the thing that said, you know what, I gotta push through?
Saying that I was gonna do it, and then knowing that I had people in the group, like basically holding me accountable to that.
So do you think accountability partners are great resources to have if you're trying to accomplish something?
Yes. Accountability partners are excellent resources for you to have. You need somebody to be like, yo, didn't you say you was gonna do that? Or if you call them, you like, last time I spoke to you, you was on this, but now you on this. Like, what's going on?
Okay. So once the book was done, who was the first person that read the book outside of you?
Who was the first person to read the book? I don't even know, bro. That's a good question. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't even know who read the book, man. Yeah, that's tough, because I had put it out and I had did like pre-orders. I know my cousin Dre, he was the first one to buy.
Okay.
Dre and my man Rich in New York. He was the first one to buy. They was the first two to buy. So I would say one of them two, I guess, would be the first ones to read it.
Did you? Were you when you once the book was finished and completed? Were you nervous about putting it out?
Yeah. I wasn't really nervous about putting it out. I wanted it to be perfect.
Okay.
So I wanted it to be perfect, and I wanted to have everything lined up, right? So I had bumped into a friend of mine, another black author,
Okay.
my man Sadiq. I bumped into him at Home Depot, and I was like, he was like, ain't you got the book coming out? Because he was in the group. And so he knew that I was coming out with the book and everything. I was like, yeah, I got it coming out, but I got, this, that, and the third that I got going on first before I could get the book out. He was like, man, it's like 1 billion books that get printed out every year by different people. Like, put the book out. And that was like really all the push I really needed. Like, just put it out. Like, get it out there. Like, stop playing.
So how's everything been going with the pandemic? I know you can't get out and do the fairs anymore and get moving around because of the pandemic. Everything is shut down. How has that impacted everything that you're trying to accomplish so far?
It slowed things down a little bit, but not really. Actually, it picked up more, man, because like I said, too much black, too much love equal too much forever. And because everybody's seeing what's going on, I've been getting more support from us and everybody. So it's just been love for real. I just go outside, bro. I'm out the trunk with this. Like I said, Nip, Master P, like all these people, like I'm out the trunk, man. I'll pull up on anybody, and they know that. Like, you see me, I'll pull up on you and just yell, hey, let me talk to you real quick, show you my book, and I'll sell it to you right there on the spot.
So, do you have samples of the book, or are you just selling the whole book?
I got samples and I got the book. So I got like little 30-day samples and stuff like that. But I want you to buy the book.
Okay.
But I give the samples out to people. We have a great conversation.
Listen, gotta get them hooked.
Definitely. I like them samples though. Them samples is cool, man. Them samples is tough.
Out the trunk and get samples. Oh
yeah,
man,
definitely out the trunk.
Old school economics. You got to make it work.
That's a fact.
So what's next for you on the horizon as far as being an author?
Marketing.
Okay. Are there any more books coming in the near future, or?
I couldn't even tell you that, bro. This happened not because I wanted to, like I set out to do it. Okay. So I don't really put that out there. Like, it can happen. Like, I can write another book, like, just because I seen how it is. But the actual to write another book right now, I haven't really got that. I started writing part 2 for this.
Oh, that's dope.
But so I slowed up because I wanted to get this out. Okay. So I wanted to focus on one thing at a time. That's what I learned throughout this process, man. You got to focus on one thing. So focusing on one thing, getting rap goals out there. So now I got rap goals out there. Now it's out there as a household name type things. Now I got number 2 because I'm still working on it. Okay. Got that right behind. I got this and I got that. Now I'm just hitting you with everything behind with the loaded clip. Now you just going. It don't look like you scrambling.
Working. Listen, the book is a super amazing accomplishment, super dope. My next question would be, with rap goals out now and marketing the next phase, is there a particular platform that you love to market on, or?
I mostly be on YouTube and Instagram.
Okay.
And Facebook. I mean, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. They pretty much all connected in some.
Okay, so as far as the traditional marketing goes versus social media, what you think as they both have evolved, which one do you like more?
I like talking to people. Okay. I mean, social media and all that stuff is cool and everything because you can get that across to the masses really, really fast in like seconds. But I like interacting and actually talking to people and for them to, understand where this book is coming from and understand where I was coming from with the book. And, just to get that connection, because then I know, they might not read it, but for the most part, I know they'll open it up.
They'll understand.
They'll open it up. They'll definitely open it up and read a few pages. Now, I ain't going to say they're going to finish it, but yeah, that's up to them though. But see, that's what this whole thing is. It's up to you. This journey, this life, it's all up to you. Like, I can tell you every step you need to do every day. But if you don't do it, then that's on you.
Okay, dope. So some of the people who have read it so far, what's the feedback you've been getting?
Excellent.
Definitely.
Great. Dope. Like, excellent, great, dope. This is crazy.
Are people surprised when they see one of their favorite artists in the book?
all the time.
Oh man.
All the time. That's what gets him. Like, oh, you got Big Crit in here. Oh shit, like that's crazy. I'm like, all right, yeah, definitely, because Crit that guy, man. Like, of course
Super
I got him in there.
dope.
You know, so like, oh, they'll see somebody else in there. They'll see a Cole. They'll see a Kendrick. They're like, oh, all right. They'll see a Chance. You're like, okay.
Okay. What do you have a favorite quote from Chance the Rapper?
Chance quote was I'm just having fun with it. What was the song with him and Kanye, Ultralight Beam? When he was like, I'm just having fun with it. My ex looking back at me like a pillow of salt. So I was like, I listen to Chance music whenever I want to feel happy.
Okay.
So if I'm in the bad mood, I'm gonna throw some Chance on, yo. Like you gonna feel, you know,
That's dope. That's super
you gonna feel
dope.
better. So that's what, you know, that day was particularly talking about, like what type of music you use to get you, you know, in a better mood. And Chance was just something that I listen to that get me in a better mood, man. I just having fun with it, man. Like,
but I think that's what life is about. Life is about the journey and having fun with the process. People lose sight of that because we want the objectives now, but the process is where the magic happens.
Exactly. The process is where it's at. You know, that's what this. I say you could be a success in a year, right? But in all reality, success is really what you make it, and that's an ongoing journey. It cannot be in a year. Like, no, like.
Listen, it takes 6 months. They say it takes 6 months to build a Toyota and 13 months to build a Rolls Royce. Which one do you want?
There you go.
But you know what I see is a lot of people struggle with that for the fact that they see, because of social media, instant gratification is so extreme in our communities nowadays.
Yeah, that instant gratification. I always give them the 409. So one day I heard a story about 409. You know the spray?
Nah, I don't.
You know the cleaning spray?
Oh,
409?
yes.
All right, so you know what? You know why it's named 409?
I don't.
Because they failed 408 times.
Oh, wow.
So
Jesus.
imagine you doing something and imagine you on fail number 20. A lot of times you're gonna quit. Most people gonna quit by fail number 5. They ain't quit.
That's a
They are
fact.
408.
That's
you get,
crazy.
and I understand. You get what I'm saying? So like, you gotta have that type of mentality.
crazy.
Like, yeah, I'm at 30 times if I fail, but shit, maybe 31 I'm a crack.
What's crazy is, so I just finished watching a video not too long ago. I might misquote it, by Tony Robbins, and he said he had read an article of a gentleman who was searching for gold, and he had been searching for gold for 26 years. It was like a galley of supposed to be like worth $1 billion worth of gold. So he was searching for 26 years. And on the 27th year, he found, I think, the gold. He found a galley with the gold, but it was worth like $500 million. And he was like, yo, what does it take for a person to continue 26 years to accomplish a goal?
Exactly.
Like, it's crazy because so many people stop just short of the goal.
Well, I mean, you know why a lot of people stop? Because they're looking at the end result and not looking at where the accomplishments that they had like throughout the journey. So when you start doing that and counting your wins, like you count the small wins, like everything is like, if you start counting your small wins, they'll outweigh your losses, like every day. So if you waking up, you breathing, that's a win. You got 2 arms, you got 2 legs, that's a win.
Right.
I got both my eyes, that's a win. So you see what I'm saying? Like the list is adding up. Yeah, somebody might have said some messed up stuff to me and that got me mad this morning, but that's only one thing on my list of losses. But then I got like 7 things to combat that with wins. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of shifts that mindset.
So outside of a particular rap lyric, which one of your favorite quotes?
One of my favorite quotes. What is one of my favorite quotes? Life is gonna be difficult, and once you figure out life is difficult, it will no longer be difficult.
That's dope. That's
Les
a
Brown.
dope one right there. That's a dope one right there.
Les Brown. Yeah, like life is difficult, and once you realize that life is difficult, it's no longer gonna be difficult for you.
Very true. That's very true.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, Les
Like,
Brown is a wise guy.
No matter
Wise
what
man.
no matter what you want to do, like, so if you don't go with your goal, your life is going to be tough because
It's a
you're going to
fact.
probably hate it because you didn't go about what's your goal.
Very true.
And if you're going for your goal, there's going to be some obstacles in that, and it's going to be difficult. So like either way, it's going to be difficult. So you might as well just go with something that's fun.
Definitely.
Like
Definitely.
you might as well, like, why be miserable if I could just go with something fun? Like,
Man, I once met a billionaire. He said, in order for you to have success in anything in life, you got to have passion behind it. Have to.
that's true. That's honest. That's the honest to God truth. Because nobody's gonna feel like people can feel it.
True.
Like
very
people
true.
can feel if you got passion or not. Like honestly, people can feel it. Like if I talk to somebody and they see me talking, they like about the book, they like, I'm gonna buy the book because you had so much passion, and I can feel the energy just coming off of the book.
Energy is transferable, definitely.
And so they see that, they like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna.
That's dope. That's super dope. So this is the part of the show where we talk about the 4 elements.
Okay.
And I'm gonna mention 4 different terms, and I just want you to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind once you hear the term.
All right.
The first term is belief.
Belief. You gotta believe like it's no obstacles. That's day number 1. It's a day for everything, bro. You gotta believe like it's no obstacles. That's J. Cole. It's day 1. Rap goals. Come on, let's go.
The second term is learn.
Learn. My, as the world turns. Today, if I don't earn, best believe I'm gonna learn. Big Sean. It's in the book too.
The third term is understand.
Understand. Let's see. Understand. Man, I don't know if I got one off the top of my head for understand, but what am I answering? Like, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
First thing come to mind, you hear the term.
Understanding, I think I have to do more research because I want to overstand the situation. I want to look over top. I want to be bird's eye view. I want to see everything that's going on, but understanding underneath.
Okay.
I want to know like what's going on bird's eye
So the
view.
final term is educate.
Always educate, no matter what.
Okay.
Always.
Guys, those are the final 4 terms. So the last question of the evening is, how has being an author made a shift in your life?
It showed me it's just it's a new way. Like, it's just a new way to do things. Because like I said, I don't think I ever met like anybody in my immediate circle that was an author, bro. Like I can't lie to you right now and tell you somebody who was in my immediate circle that's a straight up author. So, it taught me, like I said, something different. And then it also just exposed me to just new things and people.
Okay.
Really.
Well, listen, tell the fans where they can find the book and tell them where they can follow you at.
Everything is Rap Goals. So my website is rapgoals.com. My YouTube is Rap Goals. My Facebook is Rap Goals. My Instagram is Rap Goals. You can watch my Instagram and YouTube videos. I do daily videos every day to follow along with the book. So for a lot of people who say they don't like to read, you can watch the videos and go along with it that way, right? Like I said, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything is Rap Goals. Like, everything is Rap Goals, man. Responsibility, accountability, progression.
It's dope. Well, guys, this is episode 5, Conversations with Kenny. It's your boy, Kenny Barrett. Look forward to tuning in next week. We'll see you guys then.
All right.